Hey, what are you thankful for this Thanksgiving?
Beans, rice, Jesus Christ, and Byron.
Bing bong.
I like the.
You've been in my TikTok way too much.
I like the. What's up, baby? Take me to dinner.
So, can you take me out to dinner?
Okay. I feel like what's happened here with this particular TikTok. Who is that? Who's the guy? Because he's obviously famous, and I don't know him, but I recognize him.
He's a rapper. I think his name is like Nems or something. I don't know. It's some fucking.
Why do
rapper.
I know him? I'm the whitest man in America.
He's like I get from what I gathered is he made his name like battle rapping, like not like
okay,
like commercially, I guess. But I guess you can buy his music somewhere or Spotify or some shit. But he was like a battle rapper.
Okay. Well, he's got a recognizable face. He's obnoxious. He's basically trolling on the mentally ill that walk around in post-pandemic New York City. And it's everything. It's everything. It's everything you need. Like, it makes me giggle because I think there's a fear element involved. If nobody's seen this, it's basically this rapper guy going around getting homeless people to answer, what do you want to say, like modern pop-ish kind of questions?
Kind of, but some of them aren't even, a lot of them aren't even, like, difficult questions. Like, he literally just asked my man, who's the president?
Yeah. He's giving you a first look glance at the world of Coney Island that people like you and me just may not know about. You know, from the safe confines of TikTok. You know, from your phone. You know, wherever you may be. You don't have to be front and center in Coney Island to listen to this guy go, Byron!
Like,
take me out to dinner.
There is a video. It's not, I guess, as popular as obviously the Byron stuff. But like, there is one where asks somebody, he's like, what do you want to say to Joey Chestnut? And the guy calls him Jerry Chestnut. He's like, Jerry Chestnut, I'll put my hot dogs in your mouth, motherfucker. He was like, this ain't no bullshit. This ain't no Nathan's hot dog eating contest. Like, just classic New York shit. Like, so it's a pretty good TikTok page. I'm for it. I think the Byron guy may be being exploited, but I mean, come on.
Yeah, obviously, and it's different because I would say the first like microphone in your face viral was the lady from the apartment caught on fire. I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that. And then they turned it into that song that was amazing. But I don't feel like she was necessarily exploited because I feel like she had all of her faculties about her. These people do not. These are the serfs of America. These are the internetless. These are the ones that are so lacking normal knowledge that they think the president of the United States is named Byron.
I will say there's a couple
Allen.
construction worker guys that fucking make me giggle too. Like the guy who's holding the dogs. He's like, just say, does he say? He says, if you see these two dogs in your front yard, just know upstairs I'm going hard. It's just all fucking your mother jokes. Like,
right. You see these two dogs in your front yard? No, I'm upstairs going hard. Yeah,
it's hysterical. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I don't even know what the page is. We're promoting this guy. Don't know his name. Don't know what the page is called. Or just TikTok Byron.
I don't even know how to operate TikTok. You guys just had to walk me through the first video that I've posted there because I mean it's lunacy. It reminds me. Do you guys remember the Atari game, the ET extraterrestrial, the Atari game that's considered like the worst video game in the history of video games?
I remember Atari. I don't remember ET on Atari.
Okay, well you're lucky then. Basically, no one ever figured it out because apparently it was some sort of three-dimensional cube. That's the way the layout of the game was. But if you went to one side, you didn't know how to get back. No child that bought that game or got it for Christmas understood the physics of the game. TikTok is the YouTube version of E.T. the extraterrestrial on Atari. Like you'll find a video, but then you'll never know how to find it again. So if you do come across one that you enjoy, watch it a couple hundred times because you'll probably never encounter it again.
It's video Twitter. It's insanity.
Yeah.
Pure insanity.
And
it's the perfect app for the ADHD world that we live in.
I was going to say, when I was in college, when I was taking television classes, I was debating coming up with because again, this is before, we didn't have the guide channel up where we lived. It was just basically channel up, channel down. Now, this became more prevalent in the households about a year or two after I got out of school. But at the time, it was channel up, channel down. You had to memorize what the channels were, and I had this theory about just like flying through it, just like channel down until I saw something that I liked and stimulated me. You know, I could spend about a split second on something and recognize that, nope, don't like that. Nope, don't like what I see. Nope, sports. Ooh, Western or something like that. TikTok's worse. It's like choom, 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 choom. It's like a dating app without dating.
Yeah, it's exactly that. But
the best part is for us is there's 3 of us on the same account, so like I worry about like looking at something too long because I'm like, oh, these guys gonna think I'm creepy. Like,
look at everything. We should make our fucking. I haven't logged into it actually from our end of things, so make it as weird as humanly possible.
Okay, I have been liking some weird people videos. I'm trying to avoid any of like the jailbait girl videos. I'm like, oh nope, we don't want to stay on this too long. But if I see a guy, I don't know, playing lightsabers with a incandescent light bulb with his best friend, then yes, then I hit the like button, and we'll see what happens.
You're gonna fuck up that algorithm. Well, fortunate for me, I have my own account that I basically with our account, I just look to see how many views we get. And it's going north, man. A couple hundred every vid. This bidet one might, for those of you who are listening, we got Murr's reaction to a bidet, to water getting shot up into his asshole and cleaning that shit nice and neatly. It was well done, well edited. Spielberg's doing a round of applause wherever he is.
Thank you.
So we're tapped in, folks. 21st century extravaganza coming at you, middle class hole style.
Welcome. By the way, can you make Alan? I think Wesley should make us a male makeup tutorial. A makeup tutorial for the modern heterosexual man.
Yeah. So this is. I think I've been on. I have exploited myself previously on the show and showing a zit or a popped zit that didn't quite heal properly. So I was looking before the show started. I identified it, and I was like, I'm going to throw a little bit of foundation on that just to cover it up, and it looks pretty good. Looks all right.
You did a good job. You did a good job. You did.
How do I do that? How do you do that? You put a little bit on your fingertip and dab it around. That's it. Then you get back to work.
Doesn't seem that hard.
No. That's why I like women taking forever to do makeup. Sometimes that baffles me. An hour's worth. Whew. Man, gotta get a couple beers cracked.
Yeah, but if they didn't do it right, we would shame them in some way. At least not to their face, but to our friends. I'm like, man, I couldn't do it, man. You should have seen how that shit was caked on there. Ugh.
She looked like Miss Doubtfire, jamming her face into the pie.
By the way, I remember in high school somebody saying like that if you put toothpaste on a zit, like the stuff in the toothpaste would get in there and it would kind of like tamp it down a little bit. Well, I forgot that I had put a giant glob of Aquafresh on my face, and the next day it was like I was walking around with fucking breath mint like attached to my cheek. So, men may not be the best examples of how to do these types of blemish removal tips. So I think like a purely like overly masculine heterosexual makeup tutorial would be perfect. It's just like, yeah, you just get a glob of this shit, bam, you're done. That's your makeup. Good night.
Get that Maybelline, all right? It's not just for her, fellas. You got to say that.
I don't think I recall a glob of toothpaste as like a quick fix overnight with the zit.
That's an overnighter. Yeah.
It's when you're sleeping.
Yeah, that's how I had heard of its use.
I think it just dries it up, like whatever's in the toothpaste, like finally gets under the skin and like dries it up. Plus, it's got like the mint, whatever the fuck it is in there. I don't know, peppermint or something. Who knows?
It's got some kind of acids, 100%.
Yeah.
Xylithium gum number 5,
salicylic acid or some shit.
Is this also under the same train of thought? If you suck a penny, you could pass a breathalyzer.
No, I think this one's more grounded in reality.
I feel like that's just
that might works.
An old wives' tale that somebody said because they know drunk people will do anything if they're too drunk to get caught. Like they'll shove anything in their mouth. You could tell them like, yeah, if you eat 3 pounds of dead flies, like hangover will go away. I'm eating them before bed.
Yeah.
Where'd you get 3 pounds of flies?
I think I had
bait shop.
I think I was like 18. I had a beer and was still real. Well, I was still nervous about driving while I had a beer. I should always be nervous when I drive after I've had a beer too. But at that point, it was still like, I'm just going like 1 mile down the street. But I think I don't recall if a cop drove past me or was near me, but was like, oh shit, and grabbed a penny out of an ashtray. Going from cars that still made these, and the ashtray at my car was never used for ashes, but I think on one particular occasion I allowed someone to put a cigarette out in it for some God known reason, and yeah, it was covered in ashes and chucked it in my mouth. The penny. It's like peel. Oh boy. Okay. I probably would have passed the breathalyzer though.
Well, charcoal won't hurt you.
Yeah, right. It's that.
Yeah, because you only had one beer. That's why you would have passed the breathalyzer.
It had nothing to do with the penny.
I was 18. Can't you when you're underage you can only blow like a can't you get like the rules don't apply, the rules apply differently when you're underage, under 21?
0.02
or something. Yeah, it's lower or something. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I never got caught, so how the hell would I know? I don't know the laws. I don't even know when I get caught. Well, I can't break into this guy's house, steal his stuff? Jesus. I've been doing this for years.
I didn't know, officer. What am I supposed to do? It was available. I took it. What's the problem?
Right. Speaking of, I didn't know you couldn't do that. And coming out of CNN, fake news, first of all, we'll just put that out there. City of Rome, capital city of Italy, a 50-year-old man tried to pass off a silicone arm of his own at a COVID-19 vaccination clinic in northern Italy in an attempt to get the vaccine certified without actually getting inoculated. So this the nurse, oh god, she's got a beautiful, sexy ass name too, Filippa Bua. As she was about to administer the vaccine,
wait, hold on, you got to pause a second here.
That's necessarily a sexy name, but okay.
Filippa Bua.
It might just be your.
We heard
it just
you.
might be your dumb American execution of the name.
It would be.
I'm not saying I would do it better. Any more justice. That's not like a personal attack. I'm just saying we probably don't give the name its due diligence or its just deserve, I guess.
I mean, she sounds like the prettiest husky woman on the island. Like
right.
Filippa Bua. Hey, hey.
She sounds like she makes a mean fucking bolognese or something. You know what I mean?
Right. She's like she was
like
She was an American Gladiator, the Italian version.
Yes, there you go. Yes, a very robust woman with a beautiful face. I'll take it. She makes a nice goulash on Sundays.
That's right. So she said that she noticed something odd about the arm. The color of the skin was anomalous, much lighter compared to his hands and face of the patient, she said. After inspecting the area, she realized the arm was fake, made of silicone. I first felt sorry for the man, thinking he had a prosthetic. I was wondering if I somehow forced him to give him the wrong arm, but then admitted to wearing the fake arm on purpose to avoid getting the vaccine. Jesus Christ, these fucking people, man. Has it come to that? Fake arms?
I think so. I mean, it's a different country, it's different rules. Here in America, like, I kind of can get it where we can be mad at the people for making the decision not to get the vaccine. But over there, they don't even have the decision. Like, it's against the law to not have it. And so, in that way, people will go to all lengths to avoid, like, doing this thing that they're not comfortable with. So, as much as I'm mad at people for not getting the vaccine here in America, I still respect their decision in some capacity. Over there, like, what do you want them to do? Like, they don't even have a choice to make, so they got to put the fake arm on. I guess.
Is Italy
am I off base here, Alan? Usually,
I mean, no, I get what you mean. Like, I mean, yeah, they've been mandated by the government, much unlike here in America. Our conservative friends listening. So yeah, I kind of like people no, but I mean, I'm fucking right. So I get it. Like I kind of agree with you. Like it sucks, and this guy's freaking out. Like I stand on the side of like, oh well, I mean, you just get it instead of going to the length. But if you feel that in your heart of hearts that you're gonna get 5G, or you're one of the 10% of the world population that Bill Gates is planning to cull, then yeah, fake arm, go for it. I guess it's a bad idea though, and fucking look, Italians have slipped into fascism real easy. So I mean, I get it. I get it. I get it.
There's a history there. There's a history.
There's some wariness about government mandates. Understandable.
So are we certain that that Italy it's made law in that country?
I think they are very strict. I don't know if it's like a total like mandate, but I know they are very strict. But they got ravaged, I think.
Oh yeah, they got slammed. Yeah,
like they were the ones that had like dead people in like their homes, and like we still didn't know what this did. So people were like, "I'm not picking up the dead body." Yeah, so maybe a little overcorrection, but it is.
Here you go. Italy is the first major European country to require all workers, private and public, to show proof of vaccination. So they have to be vaccinated or they cannot work. Okay. So if like somebody's planning on taking your livelihood from you and you're a little skeptical of what's getting injected into your body, I guess I can sympathize with you a little bit. Like you don't feel like you have a choice. I got to go buy this fake arm. I think the thing that concerns me most about this story in particular, though, is we know that the future of, love in America and worldwide is going to be sex dolls. And if this arm is made from the same materials that our future lovers are going to be made from, this just proves that we have a little bit further to go before we're ready.
Yeah, we're not there yet. Yeah.
Well, it could be that, or it could just be the poor decision making of this would-be COVID vaccine recipient, where he just is like, this is all he could get his hands on, but he's like, hey man, that doesn't look like your skin tone. He's like, this is the best I could do. I'm gonna have to make it work. I'm gonna have to wear long sleeves. He could have done a foundation tutorial with me. I could have showed him how to bring that puppy up to speed.
I'm kind of with Murr, though. I think we've got more important fish to fry here. I'm with Murr, though. If we're going to end up with real doll companions, you can't slap one of those silicone fucking bad boys on a Boston Dynamics robot if it vaccine test. If either beautiful or homely Philippa, whatever her name is, can detect that the arm is fake, to go a lot of R&D going into the fucking sex doll industry. We're fucking up, really. Our priorities are really mixed up right now, world.
I also want to know how his weekend conversation went with all of his buddies. Like, hey guys, listen, Monday, I got to get the vaccine. So in the next 3 days, I'm going to need a fake arm.
Right. You're going to need to find me a prosthetic. Jim, you work over at the, of course, they all have American names, too. Jim, you work over at the prosthesis plant over at the hospital. Think you can kite one for me? Left arm? Olive to white, doesn't matter. I don't care about skin tone. Anything you can get your hands on. Something's about a guy who's 5'9", 5'8", 5'9". Yeah. Would that have been good if you got like a 6'3" black dude? What the fuck it. I was born like this.
Wasn't there an athlete that got caught like with a Wizinator with the wrong dick color?
Wow. Yeah, we talked about that, didn't we?
I think we did.
I feel like we did like 2 years ago.
Yeah. That guy got pulling it out. Yeah. Ugh. That's a mess. And you can't. I like to think. Maybe he did a little bit of acting. Like when she was rubbing the alcohol swab on, like, whoo, tickles a lot.
That's cold.
I can totally feel that, 100%. Is this gonna hurt?
That's a dead giveaway. I could totally feel that. That's the statement of a person who cannot feel that.
That's what you used to say with condoms on.
Totally feel that.
Shit. Well, that's that. I hope this doesn't give people ideas. I hope that this deters people from using fake arms. But I don't know. Given the track record of COVID vaccination cards, I was going to say I thought these people were proud to be unvaccinated. But Murray, you had mentioned that they don't have a choice and they didn't give his name. I wonder. You think he'll be up for any criminal charges?
Oh, probably in Italy. Sure, they'd like to charge people for anything.
Yeah. Italy's wild, man.
And I know. Do you think it's
fiery people?
A slap on the wrist, or like a year's worth of community service? some real hard time.
It's probably right around there.
Have you ever watched the Amanda Knox documentary about that whole murder thing that they charged her with 50 times because there's no double, triple, or quadruple jeopardy in Italy? She can't step foot in that country ever again, or they're going to throw her away for life, even though they pretty much have already found the killer. So just because the prosecutor is no, this woman, I will take her to prison because I think she did it.
I think, is he a French prosecutor?
You know what? I wasn't prepared with my Italian accent. Hey, I would throw a woman in a jail.
I think when Americans do Italian accents, you just do Sopranos. It's
right.
Hey, oh, it's just
a lot of hands.
Yeah,
a lot of hands.
No matter your profession,
a lot of gabagool.
Right. No matter your profession, you did a stint or an internship at a pizza shop. You know, you did some time flipping some dough, stirring some sauce up, and throwing some toppings on there and getting dirty. So we did post this on the official Middle Classholes Facebook page earlier this week. This is coming on I believe it was a Delta Airlines flight via Syracuse, New York to Hotlanta. A woman apparently startled fellow passengers aboard this plane when she began breastfeeding her hairless cat mid-flight. So the flight attendant alerted aircraft communications addressing and reporting system posted on social media. Passenger seat, of course they tell you, 13A, was approached by flight attendant, asked her to put her cat back in the carrier. The woman said, "Fuck you. No, not doing it." So I like this. The communications to ground transportation reads, quote, "Passenger 13A is breastfeeding a cat, will not put it back in its carrier when the flight attendant requested." A request for the airline's red coat team to address the situation upon the plane's landing also can be seen. The date of the incident is unknown. I'm assuming red coat is, hey, we're landing a plane. We need some real, some real security up on this motherfucker to take care of this hooligan.
Okay. But do we really? And by the way, it sounds like a where we need some psychiatric help for somebody as soon as they exit the aircraft. I'm not saying, I am not justifying a woman breastfeeding a hairless cat in a public space. But was the aircraft in danger?
That doesn't matter.
Why not? Why does it not matter? We've already all been horrified, right? We're all on that plane together. Me, you, Alan, our loved ones, everybody. We're on the plane. It's like, check this chick out. We, collectively, we aren't telling anybody a goddamn thing. We're going to watch this until it's to its completion. If a woman's breastfeeding a cat, I just got an entire flight's worth of entertainment. That's worth the price of the ticket right there. The aircraft's not in danger unless you start fucking with this woman. A woman crazy enough to breastfeed a cat on a plane is a woman crazy enough to crash a plane so she can continue breastfeeding her cat. Leave her alone. You know, you can deal with her when you leave the plane. But no matter what, when you're trapped in the sky, that plane's still got to land, and this crazy woman still got to get her cat its num-nums. So let's let those two things exist at once.
My point initially is that we can't draw the line on what's appropriate, inappropriate for a plane ride just because the plane's in danger. I do, however, agree with you that the entertainment factor would be good. Yes, I'm not hitting the bing bong up top and saying like, yeah, look, do you see that? Fucking Fifi's getting skim milk. All right. I want that to be stopped. Yes, it would be. And I didn't see a picture of the person. They unidentified her, but I'm assuming she looks like Magda from There's Something About Mary, and those fun bags, look ridiculous.
Man, this is tough. Obviously, I don't think. Obviously, it's not a major deal, but like I agree with you, Wes. There's got to be a line like, I could take a shit in the aisle, It doesn't put the plane in danger, but if there's a shit in the aisle, you would probably want some repercussions to come my way. So
okay, hold on. If I shit in the aisle, though, if you're shit in the aisle, you're now affecting everybody, okay? Poop carries disease and it smells. There's that, okay? If
also,
I didn't...
Go ahead.
Continue. Go ahead.
I cut you off. Go ahead.
The cat being breastfed, though terrible and traumatic and disturbing, it doesn't affect anyone in the nearby vicinity. I mean... It's not a boob that anybody's going to be offended by, as Wes pointed out. It's probably been suckled by several cats at this point, and it's probably just a big flesh mound that you'd almost probably think it was an overgrown tumor.
I think this goes like, I mean, we could play, obviously we're playing fucking hypothetical here, but like, what if her seatmate is fucking highly allergic to cats? You know what I mean? Or what if this cat fucking just is done with titty milk and is like, I'm fucking going on an adventure, and then like scurries about the fucking cabin? Now you're affecting people.
Okay.
And then what? And then you grab a cat. You ever grabbed a cat? You're getting scratched, sir. Like,
yeah,
that's the problem.
Have you ever grabbed a well breastfed cat?
It's probably hardy too, and it's probably like, look, and nobody fucking breastfeeding the cat is breastfeeding like a Siamese, or like they're breastfeeding a fucking Maine Coon. It's like the size of a small bob cat. It could fucking probably kill someone.
Well, unless this pussy was shaved, it was a hairless Pekingese, and those things they look sickly. They look like those cats are just cancer incarnate. So. I understand if the cat gets loose, but then why? Okay, there's hornets in the world, right? And they have hornets' nests. And generally, you're safe from hornets until you start taking a stick to the hornet's nest. This is a situation where the flight probably got real. It went from disturbing to uncomfortable as soon as they started talking to this woman, and she told them to go fuck themselves. She's not putting her titty or kitty away.
So you're suggesting we put hornets' nest in planes? Is that where you're going with that?
Bingo.
Okay. I would like to. Go ahead.
What I'm suggesting is we wait till the plane lands and we say, 13A, could you just stay on the plane until everyone is left? Maybe secure your cat, blah, 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 blah. And then as soon as it's over, you gently guide her to the padded room and let her have a conversation with the red coat people. Because everybody on the plane knows she's wrong and she shouldn't be doing this. And there needs to be repercussions for her actions. I just don't know that turning the flight into some sort of Jerry Springer episode is necessarily the best way of handling it.
And I think we're maybe focusing on the wrong part here. Was not so much the breastfeeding, like the titty feeding. It was the cat was out of the carrier. I think that's the rule that was being broken. Like, you can't be having animals just look. We've all seen snakes on a plane. You can't just be having wildlife fucking gallivanting about commercial airliners, because Samuel L. Jackson could have to fucking save you with a lot of collateral damage.
Yeah, and I also want to point out that, at least my understanding of lactation, a woman can continue to lactate after childbirth while they're breastfeeding the child. But once they stop, doesn't it stop relatively quickly? Don't you have maybe a week or a month or so of not lactating before you don't produce that type of stuff anymore? So she's continued to do it for what I assume quite some time.
Well, maybe this is how. Maybe this is her method. Like after her supple newborn had grown out of suckling, she said, "Well, I need to keep this. I need to keep this line open." So, Mr. Tiddlywinks, come on over.
And look, hey, I'm no lady, so I don't know. But I'm fairly certain that you can keep the breast milk going for quite some time. And I think you could probably just fire it up sans pregnancy if you do the right things. So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't think so narrow-minded on this. Like, oh, she had a baby and just kept on breastfeeding this cat. She might have just plucked those bad boys up into milk producing state just for the cat. We don't know.
Yeah, and I'm also going to assume that she didn't consult a vet on this one. She just said, it wasn't like, hey, I breastfeed Yum Yums, twice a day. I get about 6 to 7 ounces each time of my supple breast milk. And there was no vet and was like, well, I guess he's healthy. Why not, right? So do you think that's how that conversation occurred?
I think she consulted a pediatrician.
Oh no!
Dressed him up.
I just like how Alan thinks that the breastfeeding the cat is like the smaller deal than the cat just being out of the carrier.
No, I don't think. I mean, it's clearly the whole scenario, but I'm saying Delta was probably like, look, breastfeeding happens. We're okay with it. The problem is the cat is the issue here. It's wildlife unrestrained by a small mesh bag that you keep in your fucking overhead compartment. I think, like I said, I get it. The titty being out and all that probably distracting, but whatever.
Okay, so Alan, let me ask you this: are you okay with if they have one of those covers? They have those covers that they supply now women where you can do that in public.
No, because it's not. I don't care. Whip your titty out and feed your baby. I don't give a shit. That shit does not bother me. Fucking, I might. Okay, it's okay. Just needed it. I understand what you're doing now. Good, turn this way. Right. It's the cat. I think that's just the cat. Look, most breastfeeding children don't have the physical capability and run around the cabin, maybe hiding under a chair, maybe scratching somebody, maybe hiding in fucking a place that a cat shouldn't go, or baby. You know what I mean? Like baby. Cat that is being breastfed has way more capability than your standard breastfed baby. We're not talking about like those weirdos who breastfeed their child to like 6. Like that's different. But an average infant, breastfeeding on a plane, not a danger. Cat potential is all I'm saying.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this then. What if the bag itself had a nipple-sized hole in the side of it, and she was simply putting the boob up to the actual bag itself? There was no chance of the cat escaping. Where's your stance now?
Yeah. It could even be like a pump machine with like a little hose, like a little hamster hose into the netting, into the cat. And it would just be good to go.
Actually, no, I would actually find that more disturbing than cat's face too.
Perfectly fine.
Mm. So you're just saying
also I hate cats. So I think I have a bias.
Cat mouth on nipple is where you're just like
Look, I think the cat having the freedom to potentially roam about the cabin is where the issue lies.
Okay. It's got to be in the cage or the carrying the carry on. It's got to be
restrainable. At the very least, you need a harness and a leash on it. It can't just be freewheeling cat. Okay, you got to be able to snatch it up. Have you fucking tried chasing the cat ever?
Yeah, I mean, not.
Oh yeah, there's no chance. I do think that Delta should own part of the blame here because they've gotten very lax on like what a service animal is, and any woman who says that she has to keep her cat in her lap on a flight, I just feel like this is what you should anticipate is the very next step: letting a cat woman on a plane with a cat.
letting a cat.
That's true.
Do you think she encourages Mr. Bigglesworth to just nibble a little bit when it's like get a little teeth in there, make sure you get the last dribble.
I don't think she has to encourage it. I don't think she has to encourage it at all. It just happens. It's a fucking cat. Yeah.
I don't like to think about the training that's taken place.
You know what? I think we've missed one fundamental flaw, and that is the person who travels with their cat for non-medical purposes is the problem.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yes,
like that. That ticket shouldn't have been sold. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly. This is my point about Delta. Delta had opened this door because anyone asking for the request should not be granted the request.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are cars. I mean, where was she flying to and from? Do we know?
Syracuse to Atlanta.
Syracuse, yeah, you can drive. That's a car.
Nah, that's a hike, man. No,
Yeah,
that's
like a hike, but there are roads. Look,
yeah,
fucking.
It's called I-95.
We fucking decided when we were like, look, we're world power now. We gotta build something. We gotta build a way to transport people around this country. What's the fucking least efficient way we could possibly do this for all of mankind? We'll just build fucking millions of miles of road. That's a good idea. We'll give everyone their personal vehicle, and that's how we'll fucking build America. And now we're like, fuck, we should have built trains. And so, look, planes is the next bastion of fucking shitheadedness, and we have to deal with people with cats, and we just got to get used to it. But please don't breastfeed them on our planes next to me. Yeah,
it's 15-hour drive. By the way, just look that up, and I'm trying to think of this. It's probably a one titty sucking flight. A 15-hour drive is probably it's got at least 5 or 6 suckles.
How many times do you feed a cat? Is this a kitten?
I have no idea. I have no idea how many times she feeds.
It does make
Sniffles.
It does make me wonder if that's why this happened. Maybe this cat was like sickly and she nursed it back to health. Like I don't know. This is the other reason I feel like we need to treat these people with kid gloves so that we can get to the bottom of their mental disorder. Because I want to know. I want to read that book.
I don't know, man. I mean, there's a lot of... You guys have all been on flights, right? I mean, that's not a weird assumption. That it's just people look, there are people in the American public you don't want to run into, but there's people in the American public who don't want to be put into a couple 100-foot metal tube and then thrown into the air. And cat breastfeeding is on the list. But look, it could be something much more trivial. This is... We're overlooking a lot of things here. We deal with a lot of shitheads. This is probably just the tip of the iceberg of shitheads on flights, honestly.
Yeah.
I love how we're talking down on this woman because she was on a plane. But if she was in Coney Island with a failed rapper putting a microphone in her face, yo, I bet you won't breastfeed this cat with your titties. Bing bong. We would all be championing.
I would be watching those TikToks right now. Like in the middle of the podcast, I'd be watching.
Yo, y'all gotta see this. Y'all got to see this. Last headline before we get to Fun Fact Friday. So I talked to you guys a little bit about this. We discussed this and we've discussed this in the past. I don't remember the transgender swimmer Leah Thompson is smashing, pun intended, records at Penn, aiming to make history. So. And Leah Thompson, doesn't, for those of you who aren't into Division I swimming, if you don't know, Leah Thompson used to be a man, and she used to compete at Penn State under the men's team as early as 2019. I don't necessarily know. Initially, I was about to say not Penn State, it's Penn, the Ivy League school. I was about to say she wasn't happy with. He, at the time, wasn't happy with his time and results, so then became a she in order to break ground on the women's team. That's probably not it. But in this woke culture, she is now smashing records. Swam a 141.93 200, in a 1650 freestyle, won by more than 38 seconds at 15 minutes 59 seconds. When's this going to end? When's this going to fucking stop? Are the Olympics next? This is Division I swimming, okay? I don't know if this is an NCAA thing or if this is an Ivy League thing. I don't know. I'm not going to say like, oh, I'm shocked the Ivy League's doing it, but I don't know. Fuck it, whatever. But look, it's made its way. It started in high school, okay, where transgender women were just blowing the pants off of legitimate biological women in 100, 200, all running events, all track and field. Now in Division I swimming, it's happening. When will it stop?
I mean, maybe the next election cycle. I don't know. I don't know what the answer to that is. They do have it in the Summer Olympics. I will call her the chick from New Zealand, who was a former man, power lifter. She made it. She made it as a woman, and then even she admitted the pressure got to her and yada yada yada, because she was already got the world records in like several things for powerlifting. Look, testosterone coursing through your veins for the journey of your life. It affects things. End of story. I don't care what you want to identify as, but you can't identify in a physical feat. You can't have formerly been one thing and then compete as another thing. It's just not fair. I actually feel bad for women, like legitimate biological from birth to now women. Like, they aren't going to be able to compete because there are people that have derangement syndrome where they just want to win. And there are men out there who don't necessarily identify as being a man as much as they identify as being a winner. And if they can't be a winner as a man, they will transition to be a winner and be at the top of the heap in any sports competition. That's it. Drives them. And this is going to continue.
They made 2 movies about this in the 90s. And they were in the comedy genre, just so you know. It wasn't some sort of documentary. It wasn't like the 1980 World Cup hockey team from the United States at Lake Placid with Kurt Russell. It wasn't like that. It wasn't some sort of drama, sports drama. It was a comedy. It was Ladybugs and Joanna Man, for those of you who are actively searching through Netflix right now. Like, what was this? And I don't care if the ladies a woman who becomes a man then wants to compete at that level. I don't care about that. A man can't become a woman and compete with the females. I would be pissed if I was on the swim team at Penn and I was potentially in line to lose a scholarship. You can only have so many scholarships. You can only have so many full rides. I don't know what the situation is at Penn with swimmers. They may get partial, they may get full, they may get nothing. I don't know. But if it was one of those situations, or if I was on the team and lost a spot in the 200 or the 1650 because this fucking I just want to compete. Sorry, man. Sorry, woman.
Yeah, I hear. We lost Alan. I don't know if that was.
Is he protesting
by design?
Is he protesting?
Maybe. There's a possibility. I'm not sure. No, but this has got Joe Rogan in trouble in the first place, is because that MMA fighter Fallon Fox, who used to be a man, transitioned to be a woman at 30 years old, and then competed in women's MMA and beat the shit out men in that bracket. Like, literally broke a woman's skull. Like, there's a power difference. It's just there. It exists. And I'm all for everybody feeling comfortable in their own skin. But what happens when that makes other people uncomfortable in their own skin, especially, like you said, at a competitive level? Because there are women, there are Division I female athletes, especially in track, who lost their scholarships because they were the last one on the rung, the last one who had a chance to compete, like lost it because this person came in out of nowhere and just took their spot. Yeah. And what are you going to do as a coach? Well, they're allowing these people to compete. So I guess I want to win, and they're going to let me win.
Alan, you look a little uncomfortable. I mean, you want these broads swimming with the other broads, former dudes, swim with the dudettes.
Broads swimming with broads.
That sounds.
No, I think in our group chat I said something that probably shouldn't be said out loud. So. No, yeah, this is problematic. I think I'm with like Murr to the extent that like I think it's gonna have to be like you're gonna have to look at maybe sports individually if you're gonna start like if this is what we're doing, we're moving towards or something, because like she's smashing these records, she's smashing other Division I swimmers, like. And I don't know. There's just something fishy about this one to me. But you can't raise suspicions on things like this without being called some sort of bigot. So this is the one time I'm probably in Murr's camp where I'm like, look, hey, I mean, if we're gonna, I'm fine with it. If that's who you want to be, that's who you want to be. I don't care. But like when it comes to sports, we may need to draw some sort of a line of some kind, or just make a separate division or something, because. Like we said with the weightlifter, like it's just there's some things where it's okay, like where men and women are different. It's fine. That's a thing. It's just biology. It's how it goes.
You said that.
So I just don't.
Go ahead.
Well, you did say there was something fishy about this, and I was going to say pun intended.
Well, I don't know. This one just seems weird. You spent 3 years, fucking nobody's ever heard of you. Like I just looked up. I don't know what his name was. But I looked up Leah Thomas, UPenn, and I was looking up stats, and I was looking at can't find much on Liam, I would assume Thomas, or whatever whatever the dead name is that I don't know. I can't find much on him, so I'm gonna. I think it's safe to assume, and I'm not a boomer, so I can Google. I know how to Google things pretty adeptly. It seems like. Man Thomas was a mediocre to sub-mediocre swimmer in Division I sports.
Yeah.
Now, Leah Thomas is the number 1 female swimmer in the country. And that headshot, it just the grin on her headshot is like, I'm gaming this shit. Like, and that's just my take on it. Hey, like I said, live your life, my man, or my lady. Sorry, but
dudette.
Live your life. But I think we're this one's a slippery slope. Swimming's up there, running, weightlifting's probably got to be up there somewhere. There's just sports where we might have to be like, look, men, women, transgender men, women. Like, and separate them out, and let's see who's really the strongest, fastest. Used to be different gender thing. God, I don't even know. Yeah, this one's rough. Man.
Yeah, it's hard.
Oh, this one's rough.
Hard.
I agree with this. This one's rough. This is a tough one.
No, it's what I'm saying. It's hard when you have to temper your words and not say what you mean because you're afraid of repercussions for having a real opinion about a really real situation that's occurring in the country. When you think about somebody who's just gotten a scholarship to be a D1 athlete, think about the physicality of it's probably in its prime. It's reaching its peak. And this person decided to change teams at the peak of its physical capabilities, which is why you're going to see record smash. Now, moving to the next level, the times might start to even out amongst your top athletes in the world. But as of right now, nobody else in that division is going to have a chance against this person. And that's not fair. I've always had the idea that if we really want to make it equal, there's no men's, there's no women's. It's all the best athletes at the sport. But then you really are crushing the hopes and dreams of biological women because they're just not going to be competitive. What did you say, Wes? Serena, Venus Williams, like where would they rank among tennis players all time instead of being like number one at some point in their careers?
Them broads might whoop some ass.
Well, So here's okay. So Martina Navratilova said that Navratilova. She said that it sometimes depends upon. It's going to depend upon the type of player. Like you're not going to be able to at the time when she was playing, wasn't going to be able to handle like a huge serve and volley guy, but a little more of like a finesse baseline player might be able to play with. But I will say. Venus and Serena both got beat by someone who was like 200th in the world. But their dad set something up, and this guy went and beat him. And apparently said he drank a few beers during the day, and then went and beat him. Not 1 versus 2, but
yeah,
because there's a difference.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah. Like I'm okay with, like I said, I'm okay. Go identify with whatever you want to identify with. You can be a fucking tree. I don't give a fuck. What do you think?
But
this is where like biology and like becomes a bigger issue. And it's like, look, biological men and women are not created equal. And I know people are going to be like, oh my God. I mean, we ain't viral or nothing. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to get canceled, but we ain't, man. It is just what it is. Physically, we're not the same. You know what I mean? And yes, we have been separated and blah, blah, blah. And you get in the kitchen and I go home and bring home the bacon. You cook in said kitchen, and that shit's dead. I get that. You can make money, baby. I bring you bacon. I'll cook that shit for you. Please believe.
I'm pretty partial.
I can lift heavier things than most of you. I can lift heavier things than most of you who don't, lift weights religiously. And if you do, and you can and you can like bench me, bench me, baby girl. I'm with it. Like I'm cool with that too.
Yeah, I always wanted to fuck
sports. But in the realm of sports, there's a difference, man. There's a reason we separated them out in the first place, and because we wanted to be nice to girls and guys. Like it was because men would not allow women to even fucking get close to the top in the same exact sport because we are built different. We're built different. It is what it is.
Yeah. And if you think about like I was telling Murray, I said I don't mind if it's the other way around. If a woman can compete with the men, okay, that's fine. Remember that girl who threw a fucking no-hitter in the Little League World Series like 7 or 8 years ago? That was cool as shit. That was awesome. That was great. That was must-see TV. But at a certain point, yeah, you can't just be like, you know what? God, I'm sick of getting beat by everyone. I'm sick of being the 9th and 10th place fucking person in this 200. You know what? I'm coming a woman. Yup. Mm-hmm. I figured out the riddle. I'm going to know how to be a winner. Yep. Way too competitive.
Have you ever watched any documentaries about female bodybuilders?
I think they have a lot of testosterone in them.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, they do. Because I don't think they consider themselves women more than they consider themselves bodybuilders. So they will do anything to get to the top of the heap. And so that's what I'm getting at. There's people out there that are obsessed with the competition, and they will do anything to be the best at the competition. And if the rules are now blurred to where like, oh wait, I can compete at that. I can compete in that circuit and be the best. Then they don't care what their physicality is. They don't care what their biology is. They will do whatever it takes to be at the top of whatever circuit they decide to compete in. And then you're going to...
It's those like people. My old slow pitch softball team. We played in the bottom level of recreation league in Howard County, and we would kick father-son's church teams' heads in fucking on a weekly fucking basis. And Howard County was like, hey guys, you should probably go up to the next division. And we were like, well, do we have to though? Because we like kicking people's heads in, and they let us do it for one more year. And they were like, all right, dicks, get up there. Like, because we shouldn't have been there.
Yeah.
Most of us played like 4 nights a week. These guys were coming out in tennis shoes and shit. Fucking dude had dad New Balances, just cut the grass. Fucking get his face blown up by a fucking 200-mile-per-hour ball off of DeMarini. Like, it's a different level, is all I'm saying. Shouldn't do it.
with some of the professional, so with some of the sports, I might get slammed by the couple of female listeners that we have. Like, you don't know what you're talking about, but I think what I've heard is that with like international female soccer players, they are so fine tuned that they have their period about once, maybe twice a year, because they're putting their body through that much. It's female bodies aren't designed to do that. So you figure like women who are playing at that level, okay, like an Alex Morgan or a Megan Rapinoe or Carly Lloyd, those ladies who are playing at that level to where their body is not designed to do that. They're only having something once or twice a year that's perfectly biologically normal, supposed to happen once a month. And then all of a sudden you get fucking Liam Thompson or whatever the fuck his name is. Be like, yep, it just pumped me full of some estrogen. Don't cut the dick and balls off. Of course, I'm gonna swim the freestyle. 1650, baby. Here we go.
Like, what if Leo Messi, like 2 World Cups ago, was like, you know what? I'm playing for the fucking Argentine ladies because he can't get over the hump. You know what I mean? No, I don't know how good the Argentine ladies are. I'm sure the Americans probably still would have kicked their heads in. But that's because we have superior females here. You know what I mean? It's the same principle, though. You're putting the fucking not just the best or a very good player being like, I'm gonna go try my hand at you are literally sliding the scale of the quality of player up beyond what the ceiling is on it already. And yeah, that's a little unfair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's always gonna be an athlete to come raise the ceiling naturally. It just feels weird for a fucking fifth year senior dude to be like, you know what? It seems like a good idea. And I'm in the fucking Ivy League. It's not even competitive. Just fucking go do it.
Why don't you try fencing where you have a mask on the entire time? No one would know.
Good point.
I just really have I don't know. His hair seemed like he was he had it already. He just had a man bun and then he let it out one day and was like, I got it. I know how to save 30 seconds of my fucking time. And I don't even have to change my look.
God. Disgusting. Well, I hope, I don't know. This isn't going to stop.
Wrong word, probably. But yeah, no, there's a problem. We have to take a look at that, America. But you know what? Hey, look. We're a flailing empire as it is. Let's just let it ride until we fucking burn.
That's right. Yeah, Beijing Olympics are coming up. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
The capital Beijing Olympics is what you mean. The future world capital.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the worldwide capital of
the future capital of Earth, like in Futurama.
Shit. All right, Zoidberg coming out at you. Murr. You know what time it is, brother?
That's right, my friends. It's officially time for the gender-neutral segment we like to do called Fun Fact Friday, being brought to you, of course, by the gender-neutral Shin Splints Recovery Group. You can find them on Facebook, especially if you're looking for some like-minded individuals who have some pain below the knee and above the ankle. Find the Shin Splints Recovery Group right now on Facebook. Let's get to it. 5 fun facts for you fuckers on a Friday. Did you know the average cumulus cloud weighs about as much as 100 elephants, or 1.1 million pounds?
Ooh.
I knew it was something astronomical. I didn't know the number, though. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even think I could tell you the name of the three different clouds. It's cumulus.
Guy, what you got?
Are there only 3?
Yeah, there's one that's way up there that's more icy. And then there's cumulus, which are the big bunchy ones, and there's one below that are a little more spotty.
Well, I thought you were going to name them. You just described them.
I just said I can't name them, motherfucker. I said I don't know the names. My child upbringing didn't do me well. I know the rocks, sedimentary, cumulus, and igneous.
All right, I'm going to try it. Cumulus, Cirrus, and sedimentary.
Rocks and clouds are the same, essentially.
There are way more than 3, by the way.
Okay, what are the 3 main clouds, though?
The 3 main ones are, I think we're looking at Cirrus. Well, the ones that I recognize are Cirrus, fucking Stratus, and
that's the one.
Yeah.
Cumulonimbus.
Yeah, that's it. Stratus, Cirrus, and Cumulus. That's the only ones they taught us in fucking Earth science. So that's the only ones that really count. But yeah, no, but I mean, that's why it's a fun fact, is that when you look up in the sky, you don't expect something that weighs 1.1 million pounds to just be floating along through the breeze. You know, you think of clouds as these big, fluffy, like marshmallowy, I don't know, cotton candy type of things, but they got some girth to them.
Yeah. How the hell do these planes fly through them, man? That's crazy. Shouldn't those wings get torn right
clouds
off?
are just fucking like water. It's just floating water in the air.
Yeah, I know. That's what freaks me out. Like when I see them, like, is I just like, ugh. Like, why don't the white ones rain?
Well, I don't know.
I did not mean anything negative by that. Why the black ones always ruining my day?
It's because the white ones don't have rhythm.
Yeah, that's right. It can't dance.
Oh,
You hear that bass that comes when it rains? That ain't coming out of no white cloud. Crazy.
That's fair. That's a fair point. Thank you for saving that for me, Alan. Did you know you've been using antiperspirant incorrectly? It's supposed to be applied right before you go to bed because the active ingredients have more time to clog your sweat ducts while you sleep. By morning, it's been absorbed, doesn't wear off in the shower, and lasts until bedtime the next day.
That sounds like how you get cancer.
I agree with you. I don't use antiperspirant. I only use deodorant.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I don't use antiperspirant. I don't know. The idea of clogging my pores like that in that manner just doesn't seem legit. I use straight deodorant.
This is the most millennial fucking conversation we've ever had. Our boomer parents are like, look at these fucking pussies.
No, but like, I can remember using deodorant, like my mom got me a stick of deodorant, and I remember putting it on, and it just felt like I just like dried out, like that entire section of my body. Like, it doesn't need to be dry. It's supposed to be there's supposed to be like a lubrication going on so you can whisk your arms back and forth. They shouldn't like stick as you rub your arm forward. I was like, this can't be good. It doesn't feel good.
No, I knew it was a problem when like I'm not a overly like pit sweaty guy. I'm not an overly sweaty guy just in general. Like if I sweat, it comes from my head. That's typically how it goes. But like you knew there's a problem when you didn't need to re-up really for like a week, and I was like, I'm probably slowly dying from the toxins that are trying to get out of my armpits that are not coming out of my armpits. Like, yeah, use deodorant, gang. Don't use antiperspirant. You're probably dying.
Well, and I can remember some guys I played sports with in high school that used antiperspirant, and it's like, I can still smell you, and you still have sweat rings under your arms. So why don't I just use a better perfumed substance to block what nobody gives a shit? Honestly, people might giggle at your sweat stains, but people are more turned off by what you smell like. And if I'm using some Ocean Breeze Power Stick, nobody's complaining.
I will be honest. When I started, I used to do the spray.
Jeez. Then you were using antiperspirant.
This is like 6th grade, motherfucker. I told you I eventually went to deodorant. But
okay.
I didn't use a stick antiperspirant.
Yeah, we all used to spray it on our balls too.
If it was developed during like World War II, it's probably not very safe for you.
Fucking lead chips in there or something. It's something that was like
it's aluminum. It's literally
basically
aluminum.
Just foiling. You're just using aluminum foil under your pits and just being like, "Don't sweat, clothes, please." Like, yeah, no, it's bad. Huh? Good on us, guys. I'm glad we used deodorant. We're not trying to die of like lymph node cancer.
Yeah.
Solid.
Hey, you guys want to smoke some cigarettes?
Solid move, guys. Lung cancer, you say?
Did you know paper cuts are so painful because they are dull, shallow, and don't cause much bleeding, which leaves your skin pain receptors open to the air. Also, your fingers have more nerve fibers than other parts of your body, and each use of your hands pulls the wound open again.
Shoot. I just thought they hurt because they hurt. Didn't know the why. Just tried to avoid them. My uncle got one on his eyeball once.
Ah!
I knew you'd like that. Yeah. So he someone
Fucking hurts me.
Walked into someone who was turning. It was like kind of like he was turning this way, and the other guy was turning this way while attempting to close an envelope. And, yeah. I remember they gave him an eye patch and gave him a spray for a week.
Ow, man! I can't stop squirming. It's like,
I had a beard hair in my eye this morning, and I was kind of freaking out because it was like a good size one, and it just got like it literally was like under here, like there, but it was in like a nice little ridge, and like I tried to get it, and at this point my eye was burning, so I'm like trying to get it, and it won't come out. And this is at like 6:30 in the morning before I went into the office, and I was like, "Oh man, if I wake Kelly up, she's going to fucking murder me." And I finally got it out, but I was having a little bit of a panic attack because I thought I was going to go blind. I went immediately to fucking like it's going to get lodged in there. It's going to fucking just slice through my eyeball slowly, and I'm going to fucking be blind in my left eye. It'd be terrible.
Well, I just here's another fun fact for you. To rectify, next time you want to pull your eyelid down and just kind of try to work it up to where you can see it. Then, if you close your eyelash, pull your upper eyelid over, and then let it cross your bottom eyelash. It usually gets it out.
See, I know the pull the top trick to make your eye water, which flushes it out, I guess. But I don't know. Just it was very pokey. Look. I have this very luscious beard, and I will say that in its maintenance, I have gotten many a fucking hair splinter, and hair splinters suck. Like I the first time I got one, I was like, you know what, I would not like to be a barber, because it sounds fucking terrible, and so that's basically what I had going on in my eye. Like it was hair splinter. Like I get in my hand, but it was happening in my eyeball, and I was like, I'm gonna die. At 6:30 in the morning this morning in the mirror. It was good. It was a good start to Thursday.
There was a good Jackass skit where they make Steve-O get paper cuts between the webbing of all of his finger. Yeah, and the sides of his mouth.
I was praying you wouldn't remember that, so thank you for that. So back to hair splinters. There was some lady. She was a barber for decades. I think she was like in her 80s, and she started having these lung problems. Thought she had lung cancer, but she didn't have lung cancer. It was teeny tiny bits of hair that had built up in her lungs from shaving people's like necks and stuff for all those years. And as people started getting more high and tight haircuts along like the back and sides of their head, the finer the hair became, and she was breathing it all in, and she ended up with like this hair that all of like the bronchial tubes in her lungs were filled with hair.
Oh God, man, that sounds like fucking Saul or something.
But the worst paper cut I ever got is I remember watching Johnny Carson? Or maybe it was Letterman. I can't remember. I remember watching something on TV, Open Letters, and they would just take their finger and they would get up underneath that lip and then they would straight across. So I did that one time, and I cut my finger straight across, like it felt like to the bone. I felt like I was going to die just from opening a fucking envelope.
Like 0.1 millimeter, and it felt like it was to the bone. Oh, God, it's terrible. Paper cuts are the fucking worst. I almost like I was carrying like 12-pack of ginger ale in, and I had it very precariously positioned, like in a crook here. And boy, the whole walk up those stairs, I was like, this is about to cut my finger off. It is just going to take it clean the fuck off. This feels dangerous. It felt like someone was holding a knife to my finger. And I was just like the wrong movement, and it's gone.
Yeah, the cardboard has always been one that's been dangerous to me. There's like opening boxes. You know, you get your key out. You don't have a knife, and you're like, and fucking, oh, yeah, I've gotten a few of those.
All right, we got to move on because I'm getting the heebie-jeebies from all of this. Did you know?
There's this one guy got a one in his butthole once. I mean, right across the. I'm kidding. Go on.
Did you know? Every time you burn a candle, the flame creates 1.5 million tiny diamonds per second.
You burn a candle, creates diamonds.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how someone should propose to someone next time. Like, look, you don't need one diamond. There's millions of them in the air. Will you marry me?
I don't know how that works. I don't believe the science behind that.
I look, as you know, I don't want to do it to you, but I haven't done it in a long time. I'm just reading these shitty pieces of paper off of this calendar, which, by the way, is going to run out in about 25 days from now.
We're going to get a different segment. I'm going to be, I don't know. We'll figure that out, I guess. So 25 million diamonds are burnt with candles.
1.5 million.
1.5 million.
25 days left in the calendar.
Okay. All right. Well,
I don't know. But we're talking like tiny. I don't know what tiny is a very relative term. Like, does that mean microscopic? Can you capture them? I mean, are they floating off into the ether? Are they just becoming dust? I mean, all diamonds are is carbon created through heat and pressure. So is the pressure of the atmosphere, the heat of the flame enough to create the diamond off of the, the burning wax? I don't know.
Tiny diamond particles. They burn off.
So the diamond itself actually burns up?
They burn off in the process, yeah. So it's not like a hard diamond. It's a diamond nanoparticle, so it's like the things that make up diamonds microscopically, essentially. Yeah. Which I think would create, like, you ever light a candle and, like, if you look at it, like, at first light, there's, like, little pops of white.
Yeah.
Where it, like, kind of kicks off. I think that's what it's talking about.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Well, why don't we just invent a way to capture that and make diamonds?
Because diamonds really aren't worth shit. It's just the De Beers company pulled the wool over everybody's eyes a couple 100 years ago and fucked us over. Because if we don't give one to our female counterparts, then we might as well just find a new one.
Plus, like, how else would we exploit Congolese child labor? I think we already took all the rubber out of there. So, diamonds it is, I guess,
When the rubber meets the diamond. That's how they say it.
Look, capitalist countries can't exist without fucking poor countries whose resources we take for free.
Or next to nothing. That's I agree with that. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you imagine how much a cell phone would cost if there wasn't some small Asian boy with nimble fingers putting them together somewhere in the central of China.
Next to nothing. I think you're really undervaluing a missionary trip full of teenage Latter-day Saints fucking, scholars. You're really selling them short, okay? They're definitely not going over there to indoctrinate them into a cult.
Jeez. Well, with that said, finally, did you know lava can flow as fast as a sprinting greyhound?
It's like 42 miles an hour? 42, 41?
I don't know. I was actually, when I read that fact, I was like, well, that is a very shitty fact because I have no idea how fast a greyhound runs.
Greyhounds average around like 40 to 42.
Yeah. Okay, so lava flows about 42 miles an hour.
Yep, that would suck.
Yeah. You ain't out running that. Usain Bolt could get up to like 23, 24.
Humans don't move that fast, that's for sure.
Yeah. And that's Usain Bolt, who's a man, not not competing as a woman. Just so you know.
You say that until you see Usain Bolt pop up this.
It's right. Damn, Jamaican broad's tall as shit.
I think the most disturbing fact about lava that I ever read was, you know how like in the movies and everything, like if they go, you think of like lava like water, like you'll just get dipped in and you're gone. No, lava is still rock. It just happens to be kind of like jelly-like. So they say if you fall into lava, you will just fall onto lava. You won't sink into it, and you will just catch fire just touching it. So you don't actually go into the lava. So the pain is excruciating and extended and not immediate and, quick.
Yeah. I seen the fucking Star Wars where fucking Ewan McGregor kills fucking Anakin, presumably.
Right. Yeah.
I know how fucking lava works. I've seen it. George Lucas told us.
Yeah. I actually in elementary school, we were talking about lava. we were talking about that one rock.
I believe that's obvious.
Yes. But they were saying, lava will burn anything. And then I came up with the brilliant idea of just dumping a bunch of trash into it. If it'll burn it, just dump it in there. What is it?
Into volcanoes.
What's that?
We should just dump everything into volcanoes.
Yeah. That was my 10-year-old, not solving world's problems, but a world problem. Just keep the plastic, whatever you got. Trash cans, dumpsters, fucking mattresses, box springs. Throw it in there.
That's probably only a slightly better idea than just throwing it into the oceans. So.
Slightly.
Yeah, I wasn't for pollution. But then again, I was basing this off of my fourth grade teacher's knowledge. And while she was a very nice woman and very knowledgeable, I don't think she definitely didn't promote it. I could certainly see that a geologist or does a geologist? I know that a geologist studies much more than just volcanoes. Is there a volcano-specific scientist?
Yeah, I believe they're volcanologists.
No, are they really?
They are. No, they are. That's a real word.
Okay, I didn't. Okay, yes. Gotcha.
They're all aliens.
They're definitely Leonard Nimoy fans.
Volcanologists study fucking Leonard Nimoy and his Spock character. That's it. It's a very niche scientific study.
I would assume that someone, a volcanologist, would come in and say, "Listen, pal, if you dump tons and tons worth of fucking trash into this inactive volcano, you're going to run the risk of killing many people, making it active. So we're not doing that. Recycle, reduce, reuse. Do what your teacher says."
Or just the toxic fumes that you release into the atmosphere would be much more dangerous than the solid form that they currently.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that both have. Look, we know that the water ones have great ramifications. We've pretty much poisoned the water supply at this point. So, fucking, I don't know if the gases are necessarily worse, but at least you could kind of fucking be like, all right, folks, let's move away from the area. We're gonna dump a cube of trash inside of it. It's probably gonna blow up, so we don't want you to get Pompeii'd here. Okay, We're just gonna move you. We're gonna move you aside. And fucking lava doesn't sustain life like water does. So,
but it creates life. So if you did that, you would basically create a radioactive island of you'd create a radioactive garbage island like Hawaii. It's still growing. So if you dumped your garbage into a active Hawaiian volcano, the ground would be polluted, and then everything that grows from that ground would be Chernobyl-esque.
I mean, yeah, maybe. I don't know that that's how lava works, but I think what would happen is you're probably right. it would work, but lava has to cool and turn to rock and then reach the surface. So like billions of years from now, the aliens that inhabit this planet would fucking like be like they'd be digging to like build a new condo building and fucking run into radioactive igneous volcano rock and be like, what the fuck did they do? But we'd already be gone.
I like it. Not my problem. Politics. I think that's how our parents did it. That's how we should do it.
That's the only problem. We're feeling the repercussions of that shit.
Yeah, so we need to start creating our own problems for the next generation to solve. That's how we evolve.
All right, volcanoes it is. Let's dump everything we know. Don't recycle.
Way to go, 10-year-old West Fox. And that, my friends, is your Fun Fact Friday.
All right, Alan. Where can you find the Middle Classholes?
On TikTok. No. Well, actually, yes, we are on TikTok now. So, for your fucking ADHD pleasure, go watch us in 30-second blips, maybe minute blips, and giggle about us. You can find us on TikTok at Middle Classholes. It's just Middle Classholes, right? I don't think there's a bell in there. I don't know. Try both of them, folks.
Middle Classholes. You're right.
We'll figure it out. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter as well. We're at MDL Classholes. And of course, on Facebook, we're the Middle Classholes because that's the important part of it. And for your listening pleasure, you can always find us on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify Podcasts. Oh, shit, that's right. Our favorite mode of communication, email. You can always email us at tickleourtummies. That's right, tickleourtummies@gmail.com. It's plural. It's multiple.
This is the time where Murr like looks up and we ask if he has something. Do we get anything? Farmer Janky?
I can tell you we're getting ourselves some disappointment because our last email was November 30th, and that was from the Google maintenance team.
Damn it, Farmer Janky, where the hell you been?
Yeah.
You've been burning you've been burning trash in your backyard. Take that shit to the volcano like a normal motherfucker. All right.
And like, not a major one. Don't like take it to one in like Central America.
There you go.
Toss it in a Honduran volcano.
Solving two problems at once.
Fine, that might be racist. I don't know what the second problem is, but maybe.
Jesus Christ. Well, folks, as always, if you get caught manufacturing, distributing, or purchasing a fake COVID vaccination card, or if you're using a fake arm
to get a vaccine,
I hope you get a paper cut across your pee hole or your clitoris. Have a good night.
I thought he was going to say AIDS.
That too.
No.
The paper cut works best. Good night.
Recording stopped.